You never heard in a history such a heretic person. Even the biggest atheists in Israel that hate the Torah so much do not speak such nonsense like him. The biggest danger. Why it's a big danger? Because he's also popular. It just shows how stupid the world became that people read such garbage and they continue to waste another minute on it. You cannot believe God needs us.
Does God need us? So, Rabbi Mizrachi, I definitely hear the concern. And it seems a little funny to say that God needs us. But on the other hand, it seems a little funny to say that God doesn't need us. We're not necessary. It's like telling a parent or a father that their child is not necessary to the parent. Of course the child's necessary. I imagine that's why the parent had the child in the first place. So it's a bit of a difficult question, because if you say that God needs us, it seems to imply that God's not perfect. And if you say that he doesn't need us, it seems to imply that we're not necessary. So it seems to be a tricky question, and I totally understand why you're getting upset when you hear a fellow rabbi with a long white beard saying that God needs us. But being someone that has uploaded literally hundreds of videos of Rabbi Manis Friedman over the past decade, sharing this idea with the world, not only did it inspire me, but I know for a fact it's inspired many people to do tshuva and to do Torah and to do mitzvahs. So I know the chances of you actually watching this video and actually listening to what I have to say and trying to explain it are probably 0%, but I feel it's my obligation and my duty to, at least maybe for one or two other people out there that are going to watch this video, understand where Rabbi Manis Friedman is coming from. And of course, he's explaining this on the basis of Chabad Hasidic philosophy, which I imagine is not something that you've delved too deeply in. And that's why it could be something very different than you're used to hearing. It could be jarring because it's a different perspective, a deeper perspective perhaps. And that's why the Baal Shem Tov came along at a certain time in history to explain this more profound way of looking at God. So here we go. Does God need us? So in order to understand this, we have to define the word need. And in life, we usually think the word need means that if I don't get it, I'm going to be missing something. For example, if I don't have a car, I can't get downtown. So do you really need the car? No, I need to be downtown. Do I really need to be downtown? No, I don't really need to be downtown. I need a job. Do I need a job? No, I need money. Do I need money? No, I need a house, and so on and so forth. So in the human condition, when we say that you need something, you never really need the thing itself. If you take an honest look at it, you only need it as a means to an end, right? The hammer to build a house, the plane to get somewhere. So these are only tools, they're only means to an end. Do you need to breathe? I don't really need to breathe, I need to live. And in order to live, I need to breathe. So these are called handicap needs. Then we have true essential needs. These needs are not means to an end, I just need it. I can't explain why, meaning it's not for the next step, it's not a means to an end, I just need it. That's called an essential need. It's not based on logic, it's not based on reason, it's an internal need, it's an essential need. So for example, do we need to live? Did we need to be born? We had no need because we didn't exist yet. So who needed us here? Our parents. And who needed our parents here? Their parents. And if you go all the way back to the Garden of Eden, who needed Adam and Eve? God. He created them. They didn't create him. So who needs who? So by very definition, God needs us more than we need him. He created us. It didn't start with our need, because as I said, we weren't even created yet. And that doesn't make God less perfect. If God needs us, that makes him less perfect? Or is that the ultimate God? Is that the ultimate perfection? A husband needs his wife. That makes the husband less perfect? It would be correct to say that it makes him less perfect if you say he needed something from her, like, I need my wife to make dinner. I need my wife to clean the house. I need my wife's company. Yes, those things you can all get from somebody else, and you could just be using her to get something, but that's not your true deepest need. That's a handicap need, and you can get it from somebody else. When we say that God needs us, it's not for something, he needs someone. And that's why he created the world in the first place. Not for something, but for someone. He desperately needed us, and therefore he created us. Not for something, for someone. So a handicap need is for something, like dinner, or a car to get somewhere. And then there's a true need, an essential need. Needing someone else in your life. Someone else besides you. And that doesn't take away from your perfection. It's the ultimate perfection in the world. Another way of looking at it is, for example, if I leave this room and I see a hungry person who's starving for a sandwich and his hunger affects me, he affects me, and I give him $5 for a sandwich, does that make me less perfect because I felt his need? Absolutely not. That's a perfect human being, somebody who's able to feel somebody else's need, respond to someone else, need someone else, meaning it's not just about me. So again, the difference is, if you need something, that takes away from your perfection. If you need someone, that's the ultimate perfection. So God doesn't need the world. He needs us. So he created the world in order to have us. It's like somebody who creates and builds a home in order to have the relationship with their family in the home. So what is he really after? His family. In order to have the relationship expressed, he needs the home. But that's not his true need. It's only a means to an end. And this is where I think the point needs to be explained, because it's very dangerous, almost heretical, to say that God doesn't need us and that we're not necessary. And I think God would be very disappointed if he heard people saying that, because it's the ultimate lie. The biggest proof is, as I said, he created us. And when we do mitzvahs and we learn Torah, it's our way of showing him we're there for him. Again, God came down to Mount Sinai and revealed his deepest needs. Keep the Shabbos, honor your father and mother. He wasn't telling us what we must do. He was telling us what he must have, the type of world that he's looking for, that he needs it to look like. And we say, God, whatever your need is, we're available. And we're trying our best. And that's why this concept is so powerful for thousands of years. And if you live long enough in a Christian culture, perhaps, you'll be told God is perfect, God's untouchable. It's like an idol. So that's why we have to stop idolizing God. Like a little statue of gold and silver. No needs, he's perfect, nothing can affect him. On the contrary, every little thing, every detail affects him. That's why, as Rabbi Mizrachi, halacha is so detailed, especially on Shabbos, the day of rest and intimacy with God. Every detail matters. And we're not doing it as a vehicle to get us to heaven and a slice of the world to come, because then it would be just a very selfish, narcissistic endeavor to get something from God. So are we serving God? No, we're serving ourselves. Trying to get that little slice of heaven. It's like a 401k and my afterlife will be good. That has nothing to do with serving God. That's all about serving ourselves. The whole point of God coming down to Mount Sinai is to bring God down to this world, not us trying to get to the next world. So if you want to summarize Chabad Hasidic philosophy, and I'm not sure if you've dabbled in it, like the Tanya and things like that, but the goal is not to get to heaven, but to bring heaven down to earth, to bring God down to earth. And that's why this message could ultimately unite the world. If we're all trying to get to heaven in our own way, in our own religion, Christians doing it their way, Mormons doing it their way, Muslims doing it their way, it's going to be a very divided world. It's very selfish, and we can never agree because we both can't be right. But if the goal is trying to make this world heavenly and united and together and kind, so if I'm Jewish, I do it my way. If you're not Jewish, you would do it your way. But the goal is we're all on the same team and we're all necessary, all human beings. That's why non-Jews have the 7 Noahide laws. They have mitzvahs too. Obviously, as Jewish people, we have different mitzvahs, but the idea is we're serving God. We're not looking to be served by God. So here's my question to you, Rabbi Mizrachi. Did you hear what I'm saying?